What's up, guys? Welcome back to the TSOD channel. It's Sean here, and I got another exciting episode for you today. All right, especially for those of you that watched my recent video that I did on the Daniel Defense DDM4 V7 to basically try to get this thing into California compliance, all right, turn it into a fixed magazine AR-15, all right? So if you don't know, there's basically, California has this assault weapons ban, and you can either have a featured or featureless AR-15. Obviously, the featured AR-15 has more of the traditional or normal style features that you're used to seeing, such as a collapsible buttstock, a pistol grip, things like a forward grip, and so on and so forth. So if you really like those features and you want to make sure your AR-15 is Cali legal, there are some things that you need to do to kind of convert it or make it California legal in that sense. So to keep your features, for the most part, you're going to basically need to convert your AR-15 into a fixed magazine setup, which is what I did. Or you can go featureless, like I talked about in the previous video, where basically you get rid of the pistol grip, you have a fixed stock so it's not able to be moved. You got to remove the forward grip if you have that, and a couple of other things as well. So I will link in the description box below to the California Attorney General website so you can actually see the legal definition of what an assault weapon is, or AR-15 is, so you can kind of see the differences between the two. But the overall goal of today's video is to demo the AR Maglock right here, the fixed magazine release button, see it in action out here on the range, as well as, if you look right here, this one is the AR Maglock's Kingpin, or quick rear takedown pin. On a bonus note, I'll also be demoing the Juggernaut Tactical Hellfighter quick rear takedown pin as well. So you're gonna see all of that on today's episode. All right, guys, so starting out with this weapon, if you didn't know, this is the Daniel Defense's DDM4 V7. It's a Cali compliant version. The original way it comes is with some weird little shim thing, which ultimately, I ended up actually breaking the bolt catch on, actually a buddy of mine did, on a really weird reason. You got to watch the previous video to see what I'm talking about. But anyway, so I installed the AR Maglock, their fixed magazine button, as well as their, I tried out both their Kingpin, the AR Maglock's Kingpin, and then I tried the Juggernaut Tactical Hellfighter, and I'll kind of show you guys the differences between the two. All right, so basically what I'm going to do here for you guys is I'm going to go ahead and set this up with one round in my magazine. I'm going to fire a round. What it's going to do is it's going to lock this bolt to the rear after it's done firing. So in order to basically conduct that magazine reload, speed reload, whatever you want to call it, what I'm going to have to do, an extra step I'm going to have to do, is tap this button right here for the bolt catch or bolt release, send the bolt home. Then from there, I can press this button, all right, the AR Maglock Kingpin rear takedown button, and it's gonna pop that upper receiver up just like what you see right here, all right? And then that's gonna allow me to go ahead and release that magazine. I'm gonna put a fresh magazine in with a single round. I'm gonna go ahead and connect back up the upper receiver to the lower receiver, and then from there, I'm gonna sight in and fire. I'm gonna walk through this basically dry with you guys, basically meaning no rounds in the magazine, no rounds in the chamber. I'm just gonna walk through it just so you can see it. Then what I'm gonna do is basically do it half speed, all right, just normal speed of what this mag reload would look like with this setup. And then I'm gonna try to push the limits and see how fast that I can actually do basically a speed reload with the AR Maglock fixed magazine button and the AR Maglock Kingpin setup. All right, so that's what you guys are gonna see now. So what I'm gonna do now is basically do a dry run of everything, right? I'm not gonna be shooting any rounds. I'm not gonna load any rounds into the weapon currently, right? So, cool, I got my 10 round PMag here. It's empty, as you can see here. There's no round in the chamber, all right? So what I'm gonna do now is basically load this bad boy up. I'm gonna face downrange, and I'm gonna just kind of walk or really talk you through exactly what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I'm not gonna go ahead and load, simulate loading around, because all that's gonna do is just lock my bolt to the rear. So I'm just gonna kind of talk through it with you. So as if I'm basically sighting in downrange, gonna go ahead and put my weapon on fire. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the trigger as you heard right there. Now, what I would do basically is this, it would have fired the round, locked the bolt to the rear. I would need to hit the bolt release right here, send that bolt home, so now that I can break the action, all right? I also won't be able to flip my weapon back on safe until I break the action. So I'm gonna break that action, as you can see here. All right, boom, it pops up. Now I'm able to release my magazine. So you can see here the same one I put in. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and drop that magazine, go ahead and grab my, you know, if it was actually loaded or had a round, put the new one in. From there, go ahead and reconnect my upper receiver to my lower receiver. I'm gonna go ahead and actually charge that, that weapon, and it wouldn't lock back because there would be a round in there and it would chamber it. And then from there, I'm gonna go ahead and sight in and fire, all right? So that is the very, very slow way of basically talking you through how this setup is gonna work, all right? Now I can put it back on safe. So what I'm gonna do now is we're actually gonna go live. I'm gonna show you how the AR Maglock fixed magazine button works with the AR Maglock Kingpin. All right, guys, what I'm gonna do now is basically demo this whole process of how to do a magazine change, magazine reload, speed reload, whatever you wanna call it. And how I set this up is basically I have a magazine inserted with a single round. What's gonna happen is this bolt's gonna lock to the rear. Then from there, I'm gonna have to go ahead and release the bolt, tap the quick rear takedown pin from AR Maglock right here. It's gonna pop it up. Go ahead and hit my magazine release button, remove that magazine, put in a fresh magazine with a single round, and then take a shot. I'm gonna do this at normal speed. I'm not gonna be rushing, and I'm gonna just go through it as if I was just a normal person without any sort of advanced training or anything. All right, so that's what you're gonna see now. All right, guys. So roughly about 13.05 seconds. I don't know if you can see this. 13 seconds from the first shot to the reload and then getting the second shot off, all right? So again, it's not super fast. It's not like having a normal AR that's not modified or converted or whatever, but again, 13 seconds, not really fast whatsoever. And that was going roughly half speed. So now let's go ahead and push the limit on the AR Maglock and AR Maglock Kingpin quick rear takedown pin setup and see if we can, like, I don't know, cut that in half or something like that, all right? Okay, so show you guys here really quick, 7.62 seconds. I know it's kind of blurry, but I was able to cut it down into roughly half. I mean, not bad. I'm sure with a couple more repetitions, I can get it down into the 4s or something like that, really pushing the limit, but still quick enough, I guess, especially with like a 30 round mag. It's plenty of time. Well, in California, 10 round mag. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take a little bit of a break to kind of focus in here on the quick rear takedown pins. All right, so as you know, the first couple clips featured the AR Maglock's Kingpin. So as you can see, I just wanted to show you guys kind of like a side profile of what this thing looks like. It's got a spring on the side, and I'll pull it out here in a second and actually show you. It sits, you know, mostly flush from the other side. Again, pretty solid and sturdy kit. Now, one of the questions that I've kind of seen in the comments on some of my previous videos on this setup is kind of how does this thing work out in the field as far as having, you know, any sort of stoppages or malfunctions or things like that. How am I going to disassemble and pull this thing apart? Well, it's super simple. You can do it in the field. You can remove the rear takedown pin. It's getting it back in that can kind of present some issues if you don't have the right equipment. Now, right equipment, I mean something like a small screwdriver or something with a point. It can be like a pick or maybe even a stick or whatever. You can get this rear takedown pin back in, and I'm gonna show you right now how we're basically gonna remove this. Now, it has a little notch groove right here, if you can see. Basically, what I'm gonna do is rotate. I'm gonna push in this pin right here. I'm gonna rotate it basically 180 degrees. Right, so you can see I'm spinning it. Now it's ready to basically slide out from that detent pin and allow the upper receivers to fully separate. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this all the way out here. All right, so this is it, guys. This is the AR Maglock's Kingpin, a very, very simple system. Really, really simple. It's got that groove there. And I'm going to show you really quick about what I'm talking about in that detent pin, to where right here, you may not be able to get this back in if you don't have something to push this in to allow this this groove right here to slip in there. All right, so I've got a pick with me, so I'm going to show you how you can simply get this back in here. All right, got to keep these uppers together. Now, again, this system is very compact. It's kind of you know, just a really, really solid and enclosed system. So I really don't have to worry about a lot kind of falling or getting lost if I drop this thing in the dirt. Pretty much just stays intact. Again, I'm going to go ahead and slide this in. I need to find the groove. There is a groove right here where you can kind of visually see, and line that puppy up for the detent pin here. Give me a sec. Okay, right there. So now what I want to do is, I got my little pick, as you can see here. I'm just going to press on the opposite side of the Kingpin, and I'm going to pull this detent pin down, and I'm going to push. There you go. You see, it just popped right in. I'm going to push all the way in, and I'm going to rotate 180 degrees and pull it back, and that basically locks it in, guys. Now it should just work as advertised. I'm going to push down on this little button here, and it's going to separate my upper receiver from my lower receiver, just like it did before in the clips I showed you. All right, go ahead and lock it. That is it. All right, so it can be disassembled in the field. What I'm going to do now is we're going to go ahead and install the Juggernaut Tactical Hellfighter pin and see how that works. Okay, so now we're going to be basically demoing the Juggernaut Tactical Hellfighter rear takedown, quick rear takedown pin, however you want to call it, guys. All right, this is it. This is what it looks like. All right, it's got a couple of different components here. Again, a little bit beefier than the AR Maglock Kingpin. You know, a lot of the subscribers' comments, some like the Hellfighter, some like the AR Maglock Kingpin, some like Cross Armory. I would really love to know what you're using, specifically if it's California compliant, in the comments section below. That way you can maybe help out some others on, you know, your experiences with it. I'd love to hear in the comments section below, but this is what it looks like. So this is what I'm going to be installing out here in the field right now. So basically, it's got a couple different pieces here. We're going to basically just unscrew this bad boy. So now this is a part right here that I'm not so much of a fan of, you know, having multiple components and, you know, having different screws and little things just kind of bouncing around here. But it is what it is. That's how the setup is. That's basically how it's designed and built. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna place that cap in my little dump pouch here so I don't lose it. And from here, I'm also gonna place that spring, because that spring goes with it. So now I just have this piece right here that just says open and close, okay? Now this is where I talked about kind of needing some tools here. Now this detent pin kind of sticks out quite a bit. So again, I'm gonna have to use that pick to kind of pull it down from the other side to insert this setup into my rifle here. I might have to take a little second to pause. Okay guys, so we've got the Juggernaut Tactical Hellfighter sort of inserted here into like the takedown pin slot. One of the things I will say compared to the AR Maglock's Kingpin is with this one, you definitely have to push in that detent pin quite a bit. And for whatever reason, I mean, I don't know what situation you would want to swap out your rear takedown pin necessarily other than to demo a different one. But just know that in order to remove this, once it's in that little groove here, as you can see, you're going to need something like a pick that can get back behind this groove to pull it back so now that you can fully remove it. All right, so it's got this piece right here, and then it's got two more pieces that go on the other side of the lower receiver. So what we're going to do is go ahead and slip these guys together, push it all the way through, and then this is what it looks like on the other side. So I basically just installed this spring here, and again, more moving parts, more parts to potentially lose. I've already dropped this in the ground previously, so just be careful. And then the other thing is, you know, if you're shooting, probably want to maybe put some like mild Loctite or something like that, just so it doesn't unscrew itself. But basically that's all it is for the Hellfighter. Basically just screws in here. You've got a button on this side, as well as you got the open and close button on the other side as well. So this is basically how it goes in a dry setting. Push in this button right here, upper pops up, and then from there I'm able to remove that magazine. Okay, very simple, just like the AR Maglock's Kingpin. Basically just push up on the receiver to reassemble it. So that is kind of the walkthrough, a lot faster than the other one. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this live. I'm gonna demo this live, again, half speed, just to kind of give you a sense of how long it's gonna take. And then we'll do it, you know, me just kind of pushing the limits. It might be somewhere in the, you know, the 7-second ballpark on the speed run, and we'll see if it's in the 15-second range for just a half speed mark. So let's demo that and see how it is. Okay. 10.41 seconds, and that's just half speed, guys. Nothing super crazy. I don't know if you can see it with the sun there, but 10.41 seconds. Not bad. Definitely can be faster, but overall, not bad. Okay, Juggernaut Tactical Hellfighter, rear quick takedown pin, full speed. All right, 7.11 seconds, guys. 7.11. Not bad. It can be a lot faster. I'm not used to this setup. I'm just used to the normal traditional AR-15 speed reload, guys. But again, live in California. You want to be legal, California compliant. You got to comply with the laws. So this is just one way to comply and still have some of those features, benefits of, you know, a normal style AR-15, okay? So that's pretty much all I got for you guys on this episode. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Again, if you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing. Go ahead and smash that like button. That way, other viewers just like yourself can hopefully find this video, share it with a friend or family member. And that's all I got for you today on the TSOD channel. Catch you again next time. Peace.